In my last video, I beat Skyrim with only my fists, and whilst I was recording the gameplay, I was reminded of a weapon in Fallout New Vegas that I've only used a couple of times: Love and Hate. An unarmed weapon which not only has the highest crit damage out of all of its variants, but also the lowest AP cost. So with that, I present today's video. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas with Love and Hate? Here are the rules. I'm only allowed to deal damage using Love and Hate, and to make things a tad more challenging, I have to use my fists to solve problems, meaning I can't use any speech checks to talk my way out of a situation. Let's get started. Since Love and Hate is a reference to the 1955 film The Night of the Hunter, I decided to model my courier off the character from said film that has the famous tattoos, Preacher Harry Powell. For my specials, I dumped most of the points into perception, endurance, agility and luck. And for my tag skills, I only really needed unarmed, so I put the other two in medicine and lockpick. Then for my traits, I pick heavy-handed, which does negate my critical hit damage, but also boosts my unarmed damage as a whole, so I felt like it was worth it. And of course, Wild Wasteland. After leaving old Doc Mitchell's house, I immediately start the trek to get my weapon, which is located at Bonnie Springs. Now the problem isn't getting there, as it's just north of Good Springs Cemetery. The problem is that Love and Hate is being used by a Viper gang leader, which means they have to die for me to get the weapon. But luckily, there's a nest of cazadors nearby, so I can lead the Vipers there like lambs to the slaughter. After the leader gets his insides turned to sludge from the poison, I grabbed my weapon and decided to test them out on the cazadors, and to my surprise, it destroyed them easily. I have a kind of fear of cazadors in New Vegas, because most of my run-ins with them end up with me going arse over tit, so every time I see them, my adrenaline goes through the roof. After getting rid of the Viper stragglers, I decided to take a nice stroll over to Red Rock Canyon to visit the Great Khans, since they are only up the road a bit. After barging into Papa Khan's house during family dinner, I proceeded to mash their faces into mulch. Then I disguised myself as Papa Khan to lure the ones outside into a false sense of security, then murder them. After dealing with the last of them, the Great Khans have been wiped off the face of the earth within the first hour of me leaving Good Springs. Then I head straight to Vegas from Red Rock Canyon. On the way, I have a few run-ins with some of the most infamous of the Mojave's vile vagabonds, the canine-obsessed Violet, and the mysterious meat connoisseur Cook. After cutting their heads off, I sell some stuff to the gun runners, then cash the heads in at Camp McCarran. After this, I thought I might as well get Driver Neffy's head to complete the set. So after I puncture his lungs, I give the final head to Major Datry, then I clean out the Atomic Rambler at the blackjack tables. I did this to get some more caps so I can get some implants later that will help boost my damage resistance. Then I waltz straight into the tops. The best part about Love and Hate is that it counts as a holdout weapon, so I can sneak it into most locations. After I beat the shit out of all of Benny's bodyguards, and the man himself, I head to the Lucky 38 and immediately break into Mr. House's secret chamber, murder him in cold blood, then I head to Cottonwood Cove to catch the boat up to Caesar's camp. When I arrive at the dirty Roman compound, I get the chip from Humpty Dumpty and head into the bunker to activate my new Securitron army. After punching the angry automatons into scrap and installing Windows 97 onto my robotic rogues, I decided to pick a fight with the Legion, which admittedly wasn't the brightest idea, not only because they did a ton of damage to me with their power fists, but also because I was completely out of stim packs. A tactic that I found that worked though was slowly taking out the stragglers on the outskirts of the camp, then luring the meat shields out from Caesar's tent to deal with them on a 1-to-1 basis. Or if not 1-to-1, at least less than 10-to-1, which worked a lot better for me. After finally managing to cleanse the world of these Mad Max looking reprobates, I sit on my new throne to get my breath back a bit. Then I head back to Cottonwood Cove and make sure every last Legion member gets put 6 feet under, which admittedly took quite a long time and quite a few tries. After they're all dead and gone, I head back to the Strip and install yesman.exe onto House's mainframe. Then I head over to the Gomorrah to help with the change in management. So after half-inching Kachino's diary, I give it back to him and in return he agrees to help me. But the only thing I have to do is destroy some weapons, so his help isn't really needed. Even when he takes me up to see the bosses, he barely has time to unholster his gun before I just start swinging my fists around like a deranged gorilla, which swiftly leads to the visceral demise of both Big Sal and Nero. After this, I sell some more stuff to the Gunrunners Vendertron and buy myself the subdermal armor at the New Vegas clinic. Then I head over to Nellis to see the boomers, and I barely made it to the gate in one piece. Then I was kidnapped and taken straight to Pearl. Now, I don't take kindly to being blown half to hell, so I decided to get some revenge. But first, I need to have a quick drink out of the toilet like a dirty dog to get my health back. At this point in my career as the world's worst YouTuber, I've come to realise that fighting the boomers is a good indicator as to how difficult the end game is going to be, and I'm surprised to say that I didn't die once. And then I became even more powerful by taking the Bloody Mess perk, which increased my damage even more. And because the attack speed of the Love and Hate is so fast, if you increase the damage, it becomes a weapon so lethal it should be banned under the Geneva Convention. After pounding the last of them into paste, I make my way to Hidden Valley to deal with the Brotherhood of Steel. Admittedly, I got pretty cocky at this point, because instead of grabbing Veronica and doing this the easy way, I went straight through the front door and attacked them immediately. And despite their stupid bloody Gauss rifles shredding me to bits, I melted their power armor like a hot knife through butter. Now, because their Gauss rifles do so much damage, when I delve deeper into the danger zone, I fight my way to the cafeteria because not only do they have 2 fridges with some tasty treats inside, but they also have a water fountain, which means infinite healing, baby. So I can just lure them in here to ring their bells, then heal any damage done before dealing with the rest. Rinse and repeat until I get to the lower levels. Luckily for me, most of the people down here are wearing flimsy cult robes, so they are taken apart with ease. After battering the Elder's bodyguards, I disarm him. Then I kill the head paladin. Now that they're all dead and gone, I could just leave. But to add insult to injury, I set the bunker to blow and make my escape. When I get back to the strip, I do some more gambling and buy the monocyte breeder from Dr. Usanagi. Then I report the destruction of the other factions to Bill Gates' dog and tell him to leave the White Glove Society alone. Because as far as problems go, cannibals aren't exactly at the top of my list right now. Then I make a trip over to the El Dorado substation, and when I arrive, the NCR attack me immediately. I don't know why they did this, because we were on good terms after I handed the heads of the dirty criminals to them, but it's their loss of life. After activating the substation, I head to the dam to win the war. And because I'm dressed as a Mad Max extra, the Legion didn't attack me, so I was able to have a nice little stroll to and from my objectives. Even in the Legate's camp, the guards didn't attack me either, so I was able to march right up to him. And when the fight starts, I was shocked. Look at this damage I did to him on one VATS attack. In fact, I did so much damage to him, it only took 2 VATS attacks to get him to run away to heal, which never happened because I managed to kill him before he could. And mopping up his cronies was even easier. Once they're left to the maggots, me and the Securitrons send the NCR to hell. And with that, you can beat Fallout New Vegas with Love and Hate. This run surprised me. I didn't expect Love and Hate to be so powerful, especially in the endgame, but it was an incredible experience that I'm glad I tried. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe? It helps out the channel massively. Plus, if you turn on the notification bell, you get to watch more juicy content from yours truly when it releases. If you want to support me further, consider joining as a channel member. You get early access to videos, and a mention in them for being such a legend. If there's a specific video you want to see, or you just want to have a chat, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you next time.